Can it get any worse for the Mavs? Everybody's upset. Everybody in Dallas is upset that the trade Luka for Anthony Davis. Okay, you make that trade, everybody's upset. You seem to be invigorated because you get Anthony Davis and he's playing well through 3 quarters, and then he gets injured. Okay, Kyrie is trying to carry the load. We understand it's an uphill battle because you're without AD, you're without Gafford, you're without Lively. Okay, fine, but Kyrie, just keep us in the game. Do what you can. Mm-hmm. Now he's injured. They're already in the 10th slot, if I'm not mistaken. If Kyrie's gone, there's no Anthony Davis. Where are you going to be able to get consistent scoring to keep pace, to keep you in play-in contention, let alone the 6th seed, so you don't have to worry about the play-in? They're trying to stay in 7 through 10 so they can get into the play-in. I just don't see how they stay in the play-in tournament unless AD comes back in the next couple of days and he goes haywire, which we know he's capable of doing. We know what Anthony Davis represents. He's been a first-team All-NBA player. He's been a multiple-time All-Star, so we know what he can give you. But it's just hard for me to see a scenario without AD, without Kyrie, and those other 2 bigs, them doing anything.
When it rains, it pours. That analogy perfectly sums up what is going on in Dallas right now. Injuries are just piling up. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about how the Kyrie Irving injury exposes the Mavericks stupidity even more. On Monday, Kyrie Irving tore his ACL when driving to the basket against the Kings. At this point, the Mavericks could not be further away from winning an NBA championship. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. Have the Mavericks hit rock bottom yet with their season? Technically, no, although if you want to say yes to this question, I am not going to blame you whatsoever. Ever since Luka Doncic has been traded from the Dallas Mavericks, everything that could possibly go wrong for the Mavericks has gone wrong. Their entire rotation is basically injured. The Dallas Mavericks have mismanaged their entire franchise within the past month. They trade away their franchise superstar for very little in return. Everybody trashed the Luka Doncic trade at the time for the Dallas Mavericks, but even the biggest Mavericks haters could not have anticipated how bad this Mavericks team became very quickly. In the first game Anthony Davis played for the Dallas Mavericks, he ends up getting an abductor strain. It looks like he's going to be out for the season, so that's already a disastrous part. Max Christie has been a solid player for the Dallas Mavericks, but he is definitely no Luka Doncic, and they got 1 first-round pick in return for Luka Doncic, which doesn't even occur until 2029. Who knows if Nico Harrison is even around by that time. Personally, I would fire Nico Harrison on the spot. I wouldn't even let Nico Harrison finish the season if I'm the Dallas Mavericks. How do you trade your franchise superstar for only Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick? I trashed the trade at the time, saying that this was an F- deal. Obviously, that was not harsh enough because this is the worst deal in sports history, not counting the Deshaun Watson trade. The Dallas Mavericks PR team has taken a massive hit with how they have been trashing Luka Doncic. They claimed they traded away Luka Doncic because they had injury concerns. Instead, the entire Mavericks team is getting hurt ever since Luka Doncic got traded. Derek Lively is also injured as well. The entire big man rotation for the Mavericks is essentially out. They got to rely on big minutes on Kai Jones, a guy they just signed off the street, and I feel bad for Kyrie Irving, man. The man tore his ACL because he had to take on a bigger workload because of his stupid general manager that traded away one of the greatest playmakers in Luka Doncic. And of course, with the increased workload, Kyrie Irving got himself injured. Obviously, that was inevitable. I also want to show you guys this clip of Nico Harrison conducting an interview when he traded away Luka Doncic. I thought he sounded like an absolute idiot at the time. Looking back at it, he sounds even dumber now. Roll the film.
No, and I'd like to give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit. You know, trades, you guys have been around here, trades don't happen at the smallest level without stuff getting out. And Rob and I were able to have, you know, really intense conversations over the course of, 3 or 4 weeks that started out as a coffee that, was more, hey, would you ever, I don't know, would I? Let me think of, and then it built upon that. And, we kept it between us. We had to keep it tight. J Kidd didn't know about it. But J Kidd and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes, and we talk about the culture that we want to create. So I know the type of players that he likes without actually talking to him. Hey, would you like, so I know that. And J Kidd coached them when they won a championship. So I think when you're aligned with your coach like that, I know the type of players that he likes.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Idiocy. That's what I have to describe for Nico Harrison. Everything he said about the Luka Doncic trade was absolute idiocy. Do I understand that Luka Doncic might be out of game shape? Potentially, but was it so bad to the point where you had to get rid of Luka Doncic? Of course not. Luka Doncic was a little bit overweight, and that's how you treat Luka Doncic on the way out, Nico Harrison. The basketball gods have definitely repaid Nico Harrison back with the fate that he deserves. I'm not normally one to cancel out executives, but in the case of Nico Harrison, there is no coming back from this. I see that the Mavericks are trying to spread rumors that they are all in on trade for Kevin Durant, but that's absolutely laughable. If you wanted to trade for Kevin Durant, then you should have attached Luka Doncic to that trade offer at the time. Now you don't even have the assets to trade for Kevin Durant. And what's the point of trading for him anyways? He ruins team chemistry at this point in stage of his NBA career. Kevin Durant is not getting this Mavericks team another NBA championship. It's just simply not going to happen. Luka Doncic is going to win a ring before the Mavericks will even dream of contending for the NBA Finals without Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic wanted to stay in Dallas, but the Mavericks clearly disrespected Luka Doncic to a point where it was not even professional whatsoever. They're also disrespecting the fan base by raising up ticket prices by 8%. It's absolute stupidity on the ownership of the Mavericks. At this point, I'm convinced that the Mavericks ownership is purposefully trying to tank their product in Dallas just so they can relocate to Las Vegas. Of course, that's going to happen when you have the owners that are invested in casinos. So if you can't build a casino in Dallas, why not just move to a city that allows casinos in the first place in Las Vegas? We all know that the NBA has been trying to get a team in Las Vegas since forever. Why not try to relocate the Mavericks to Las Vegas? This Mavericks franchise is going to be cursed on a permanent basis. That's what they get for trading away Luka Doncic. Now Kyrie Irving tears his ACL. Who knows if he'll ever come back the same player? He is a guy that relies a lot on driving to the basket and relies on crossovers. When you tear your ACL, you might not ever come back the same player. The Dallas Mavericks are essentially screwed. They're going to have to go through a massive rebuild. Their days of contending for a championship are long over. Nico Harrison needs to be fired on the spot. He needs to be blackballed from any profession moving forward. To trade away Luka Doncic for that little in return, it's a criminal offense in the city of Dallas, or at least it should be. Luka Doncic is easily a top 5 player in the NBA. Some might even say he's the best NBA player right now, which means Nico Harrison handled the Luka Doncic situation very poorly. The Kyrie Irving injury only exemplifies the stupidity of the Mavericks even more. So that is why the Mavericks have not hit rock bottom yet with their season, although everything that can go wrong for the Mavericks have gone wrong ever since they traded away Luka Doncic for basically a bag of peanuts. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinNashTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinNashTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinNashTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.